Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by none other than Because Bitcoin. It is Wednesday. It's always a great day when the coins are all green, when everything is green. The stock market, small caps, large caps, crypto, Bitcoin, altcoins, everything. Very green today. But welcome, guys. Thank you for tuning into today's show. You guys know me as Tommy, also as Snorlax, of course, joined by Max, Tucker, and Dr. Will's Outlook. We're going to try to get Jackus back here for you this week or next week, maybe. But he's definitely missing you guys, and I'm sure, and definitely missing doing some cooking for you guys. But before we start cooking, before we start sharing that alpha on everything that we're seeing in the markets right now, we would love and appreciate if you guys could smash, caress, or fondle the like button, whatever you need to do in order to hover your hand over the mouse and click the like button. It really means a lot to us, of course, to be able to continue to produce this content for you every day. And the YouTube algo is really starting to take a liking to us, right? I mean, we really, crossed over some really important milestones from a subscriber standpoint over the last few months, and we're growing at a pretty exponential rate, in my opinion. So you guys are a big part of that. But yeah, guys, let's talk about markets. Let's talk about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is up 4 to 5% today. It just continues its relentless move to the upside. Really has not given any substantial pullback since 43 or 44K. What an extension from Bitcoin here, guys.
Who could have foreseen?
Who could have foreseen? The doctor could have foreseen. Because Bitcoin could have foreseen, right? And one of the things that we also talked about this week was if Bitcoin was going, not just Bitcoin continuing to go higher would do this, but also whenever Bitcoin does go sideways, we're going to see a very strong bid on crypto beta, on altcoins. And, so far we're seeing that, right? I mean, look at things when you get super down into the weeds, like a whiff is outperforming, right? Obviously, Dimension's up over 25% today. And I think it looks set for continuation too. I'm sure we're going to talk about that more in depth as well. Solana looks ready to rip. A lot of the other major layer ones look ready to rip. It's a market that looks like it wants to take on a lot of speculative risk. And that's solely because, Bitcoin was able to lead the way about a week ago with this huge breakout. So very favorable conditions, I think, coming for crypto here over the next 2 or 3 weeks, especially in these altcoins. And probably even in ETH. Yes, I'm saying that as, we can talk some open interest today. I can scan to see if there's anything particularly sticking out, but it might be time for me to stop FUDing ETH. I do think we should probably talk about that on this stream. And, that I say that with the caveat that, of course, you can long ETH and probably, even when you see ETH outperformance, you'll probably outperform it with certain ETH beta. But I do think that ETH will probably put on the sort of pump soon. I'm not entirely sure when, but soon. And we've been saying this for weeks on end. But I will say I think the time draws near for ETH at this point. You kind of run out of auctions to the downside to be able to test. And at this point, a breakout does seem somewhat imminent here. And I would even say I would be very surprised if we don't see a breakout on ETH in a very big way by the end of the month of February. But yeah, equities, same story, right? We had a CPI print earlier this week. The market has so far responded by buying the dip. It will probably turn into new highs, I would imagine, within the next 2 weeks. That's really been the story of every macroeconomic event over the last 6 months. It's just been fuel for upside. You get people who short any bad economic data, and they immediately become fuel for the next few sessions to lift price higher. But welcome, guys. That was kind of a mouthful. Welcome. The market is green. That's what I'm seeing in the markets. I think that's the best way we can summarize it as succinctly as possible. But I'd love to know what you guys are seeing as well.
Oh, man. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It's so fun waking up to days like today, where you just hold with conviction through all of the buffoonery and the famous clowns on CT trying to get you to prematurely jeet your bags. I'm just so proud of all you guys listening that held strong. You guys tune into this show every single day. A lot of you guys are in our Discord. you've been fully positioned for these moves a lot lower. And you guys have earned it, you know? You put in the analysis, the time, the research, you have that conviction within to trust yourself, to trust your analysis, to do the necessary due diligence to get to that point so that you can reap the benefits of days like today. So congratulations. Guys, before we really start cooking here, if I could just ask a favor of you all, let's get this out of the way early. Please like the stream if you haven't yet. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're watching on X, hit that heart button, guys. It really helps us grow. And again, we're so appreciative of your guys' support. I promise we wouldn't bother you with it if it didn't make a huge difference, but unfortunately, it makes a huge difference. So please help get this content out to more people. Help us grow. Again, you guys helped us slice through 3,500 subscribers on YouTube like a hot knife through butter. I always say that, but we really did slice right through it, and it's because of you guys. So especially on Valentine's Day and on Pump Day, let's hit that thumbs up button, guys. Also, I have a little something for you guys. All right. I have a little something. I woke up feeling pretty generous today. Maybe it's all the unrealized gains. Who knows? Maybe that has something to do with it. But we're doing a little giveaway today on the show. We are doing a little discount giveaway. We said we wouldn't do them anymore, but it's Valentine's Day. I'm feeling quite loving. For those, there's probably a lot of you out that are like, man, you know, I wanted to try the Discord. You know, maybe if there's like a discount code or something, you know, I can get a little bit off my first month. You know, I would try it out, lower risk. Well, today is your lucky day because at some point during the show, I'm going to drop that code randomly. All right. There's a very, very limited number of them. All right. Last time we did a discount code, we had 60 signups in under 4 minutes. And then it was used up. This is your chance, and it's on Valentine's Day. So I'm just saying, stick around, wait for that code. I'm just gonna drop it randomly. All right. Like someone's gonna be cooking, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna let you finish. Hey, Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish. But because Bitcoin had one of the best promo code drops of all time, you guys know what I'm gonna say. It's Kanye interrupting Taylor Swift. But anyways, I'm gonna drop it in there. But guys, let's get these likes up. If you're on Twitter too, do us the solid, guys. On Twitter, it's so easy. How about a like and a retweet, guys? We're here every single day. It's a very, very fair ask, very fair exchange of services. We dump alpha for an hour and a half. You guys smash and retweet. You smash the like button and you retweet. But yeah, man, it's a fantastic day. I have some absolutely insane charts that I want to talk about with you guys today. But that would require me to completely just bulldoze the rest of the people up here and just steal the screen for too long, which I'm not going to do. So let's talk about these Tucker-Nachi lines first, guys. These are some fantastic, fantastic lines. And I do have some incredible charts. And again, just a reminder for people just popping in, it's Valentine's Day. It's Pump Day. I'm feeling generous. We're going to drop an impromptu discount code if you've been wanting to try our Discord and then future BB terminal. Again, it's Valentine's Day and it's Pump Day. I'm feeling generous. So stick around. You're going to have to be quick, though. It's a very, very limited number. So, anyways, let's get into it. Tucker-Nachi, what do you got for us?
Yeah, what's up, guys? What a day. What a day. I literally just drew this about 10 seconds ago, but I kind of like, I mean, I could see you pull back to 2600-ish like Tommy was saying, but I kind of like you to hang out in this region. Kind of, I mean, it could be more parabolic than that, but something to the effect of like hanging out between 26 and 3100. Just kind of in this green box, man. I love these diagonals, but I think it's kind of a kind of a case of you need to flip this. You'd like to see like 2650 flipped. And then, you know, higher makes more sense, but yeah, basically this whole region, I think if you like kind of do this, then you can look for that. But yeah, I mean, what a day. Like things look fantastic. The altcoins are pumping. BB got in dimension very, very, very early, right at the listing. We're up 20% today. That's fantastic. We're up a lot more since we bought, but yeah, that's
Double
a very
digits
nice
very
candle.
soon, Tucker.
Oh,
Double
dude,
digits very, very
there's
soon.
some good. I mean, this is what this is what we've all been looking at, right? Like, it held the golden pocket. These are kind of the upside targets for me. So yeah, I mean, big day across the board. I think I was talking with with Tommy last night. We were playing some Call of Duty, and if it was gonna do the Manta fractal,
Hold
the
on,
alt
what?
layer, what? Oh,
How come I
William.
wasn't invited to this?
Oh man, Will, you gotta join us.
Yeah, wait, I didn't even know you played COD, bro.
Yeah, I just got killed a
I'm a
lot of people.
grown man with a family. I can't play video games, man.
Yes, you can. If you really try, you can.
Dude, I feel like my wife wouldn't view me as attractive as she'd view me as like an asexual being if I started playing video games. Putting on that headset, I'm a man. I can't do that. It's
You
childish
do it in your
activities.
closet, Max, when nobody's paying
You
attention.
guys need to have a
Nobody's watching.
family. You need to grow up. There's no time for video games, all right?
Yeah, well, that's where all the alpha gets dropped, Max. So
You and Tommy just dropping shitcoin tickers at each other in Call of Duty rooms.
that's
Basically.
real. Yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, like this would be the Manta, right? We would have like lost this and come back into here. The Manta, the alt layer, the XAI, the Ondo fractal, all of them lost the golden pocket, came in here, and now they're kind of doing this, right? So I was saying, as long as it holds this, I have to remain bullish, because the short that that Tommy was looking at is very valid, right? Super valid. Like this, like very, very easy, clean, valid. Like that would be the fractals of all the other ones, but it didn't lose it. It just held the floor, and out of nowhere, Asia decided to just pump everything to the heavens. So it is what it is. But yeah, I think all these charts look fantastic.
You know what's funny, Tucker? So I put up a tweet. I think it was 123. I retweeted it, but of this year, and I said at 39.5, after we already hit the low at like 38.6. And you could already see the buy pressure starting to settle into Bitcoin before the wick formed on the weekly. And I was like, the massive swing long here is going to catch so many people off guard that 90% of these shorts, if not all of them, will get liquidated. I would argue it did. It absolutely did. It blew shorts out. Their backs missing. They got a hole. You're
Yeah.
liquidated if you were short. You are 100% liquidated if you were short.
Look at these candles, man. Look at these candles. That's unbelievable. No wick on that one. Barely a wick on that one. I mean, at some point we're gonna have just a wipe, but
I think this is the area where you might get an OI wash on longs.
yeah.
Which, not worried. It's going to be a pullback for buying, but this is exactly what I told people. I told them it's exactly what was going to happen to them, and everybody was telling, "Oh, we're going to wait for 36, low 30s, 33, and we're going to get buys in." And I'm like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Your opportunity to buy is here at 39. It's here at 38. It's here at 40." And I just think so many people were not willing to accept that. And now, again, I want to be clear. And remember, we were having this discussion here on the show, Tucker, and that area right there, right below that zone. Remember that little buildup I was pointing out?
Where?
The slow grind up to this upper range.
Oh, this?
Roughly around November. Yep. That was exactly what I was pointing out. And I said that buildup is a grind up. I was like, you're not going to come back into that area. I was like, you're going to stay above it. You're going to use it as support, and you're going to spring off it. And if you put a line right above that buildup, that's exactly what Bitcoin did.
Mm-hmm.
It sprung right off of that buildup.
Yeah, because what am I on the 3-day? I mean, yeah, we had this little guy. Perfect. Literally perfect.
Perfect tap. Perfect tap. Ripped right off it. And look, if you put it on the weekly, Tucker, the weekly was all telling. All you had to do was respect the weekly. Look at that wick in that candle. That's a hammer. That's a bullish hammer off the low. That's a reversal. That is for sure a reversal.
Man, that looks so freaking good on the weekly, dude.
Wow. It does.
It
It looks clean across the board.
That looks insane.
Wow, man. Wow. What else? What is there to really say, man? It's just, we've talked about this before, where everybody wanted their pullback into the halving, and then they got a 22% pullback, and they said, no, not that pullback. That's not what I was talking about. Not that pullback. No. When Bitcoin nukes 60%, and we get COVID, I'm calling for COVID. When we get COVID, I'll buy it. Imagine calling for COVID. To quote the great Tucker, imagine calling for COVID.
Yeah.
Instead of just buying, men will call for COVID instead of just buying Bitcoin. It's incredible.
Men will call for COVID.
You see a 20% pullback, all right? It's time to take the mask off and buy. That's it. Like your whole black swan event has happened. A 20% pullback at this point it's luck. It's just pure luck at this point. Every time you see a 20% pullback, you should be more bullish than you've ever been in your entire life.
That's real. I do have some propaganda if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, let's see it.
Are you guys in the mood for propaganda?
Always
in the mood.
Do we think that our audience here wants to see the propaganda?
I would wager that they do.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do I want to hang likes over their head? I mean, I already said at 100 likes, I would drop the discount code. Maybe I'll drop the discount code before, just catch them off guard. I just tested it. It looks nice. All right. Well, let's, Chris says, propagate me. All right, man, we can propagate. Let's do this. I want to talk about this, guys. I want to talk about this. I tweeted this out last night, but I have something that I haven't tweeted out that I'm going to share with you guys about this. All right. We've talked about Bitcoin monthly RSI before and how when you get above, this probably 85, 90 level, you got to start being a little bit cautious, right up in here. But what I've identified as well is that when Bitcoin monthly RSI gets above 70, highlighted by these blue dots, look at what happens. You basically get 330 to 360 days of extreme price appreciation and price discovery. Again, look at the blue dots. They line up. Whenever Bitcoin monthly RSI crosses 70, that's when the bull market begins. All right. Now, I'm not done yet. I'm not done cooking. I'm just setting the stage. All right. So look at where we're at right now. We're kind of in this transition zone. We're going from bear market, which is in the red, up into this transition zone, which is highlighted by the yellow. And then when Bitcoin monthly RSI crosses 70, things get crazy. We haven't crossed 70 yet. To be clear, guys, we are at 68.5. We haven't hit the blue dot yet, So what does that imply potentially? At least another 400 days, assuming we, don't turn around here, another 400 some days of price appreciation, breaking through 70 on the monthly RSI. Now, let me talk about where the real fun happens. All right. Now, I want everyone on the panel to pay attention to this as well, because I want to have a discussion about this. Tommy's aping right now, I can tell. Tucker is aping or responding to a group chat. I can see their pupils dilate. I can tell when they get into that attack mode and they're just like, they're not even here. They're on a whole other planet, just like attacking something. But I want you guys to see this. It's an important point, and I need you to see this. All right. We're going to add Bitcoin dominance onto the bottom here. All right. So we've already established that when Bitcoin monthly RSI gets above 70, that's when the green happens. That's when the real euphoria happens for over a year. Are you guys paying close attention now?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to add some more blue dots onto Bitcoin dominance here on the bottom. When Bitcoin monthly RSI gets above 70, Bitcoin dominance historically has nuked during that period of time. So what does that imply, gentlemen? That if Bitcoin USD goes up for another 365 days when Bitcoin monthly RSI gets above 70 and Bitcoin dominance nukes, what does that imply? Pop quiz. Does anybody know what that would imply?
That implies that Haggard retires with a yacht in like a year.
Yes, sir. Now, for those that don't know exactly what this is, Bitcoin dominance is basically Bitcoin's strength. Okay. Bitcoin dominance is the percent of the total crypto market cap that Bitcoin itself represents. So right now, Bitcoin represents 54% the total asset class. Okay. Now, when Bitcoin dominance is nuking like this, that means that altcoins typically are altcoins are a better hold than Bitcoin. All right. That means altcoins are kicking Bitcoin's butt. All right. So when you line up Bitcoin dominance with Bitcoin USD monthly RSI crossing 70, which is about to happen, you typically, in a very short period of time following, get a crazy alt season. So all of these people telling me that alt season already happened and, we're about to sell off and we can't keep going much higher. What are you talking about? The data suggests otherwise. I'm not making this up. I'm interpreting the data. I just put nice colors on it. We haven't even had the mania phase yet. The mania phase happens when Bitcoin monthly RSI gets above 70. Look at this. We haven't gotten there yet. And look what happens with Bitcoin dominance. We have a whole alt season. We have a whole alt season that hasn't even happened yet. Here's total 2, guys. Look at what happens here. Let's add some more blue dots on. Here's total 2. This is the total crypto market cap less Bitcoin. Look what happens. This is when things go crazy, guys. This is when altcoins, ETH, and all your shit coins dramatically outperform Bitcoin. And that happens when we get over 70 on the monthly RSI. Is that going to happen tomorrow? No, we're going to need a new monthly close. It's going to be at minimum 2 weeks from today. And it might even take 6 weeks. I don't know how the calculation works exactly, but it's possible we hit it this next month. But also we might have to wait until end of Q1. But either way, look what comes after. Anyways, guys, I want to talk about this because I'm doing my best to combat these Twitter clowns with huge followings that just keep calling tops every day. I don't know if it's for engagement or what, but I mean this is real actionable. Data driven, not emotions, data driven analysis on the higher time frames, and it's painting a much different picture than what a lot of these guys on Twitter are saying, and it's painting the picture that we are just getting started. So what do you guys think? Talk to me.
I mean, go ahead. You can go ahead, Tommy.
I was just going to say, I think the inflows for the Bitcoin ETF have absolutely blown away my expectations and kind of have forced me to rethink how I'm approaching the next few months, right? I mean, especially if they're going to continue at the just rapid pace that they have been. I think that's potentially a very reflexive narrative, right? That could lead to that price appreciation.
And guys, before we even get in further, we got 170 people watching right now. The likes are in full-blown capitulation. The likes on the video are lagging more than ETH against Bitcoin, guys. That is unacceptable. If you are enjoying the content, please hit that like button, guys. Remember, we are doing a little impromptu discount code giveaway today. It's Pump Day, and it is also Valentine's Day. I woke up in a very loving mood, so I threw together a little impromptu code. It only works for today, and it is a very, very, I'm not even going to tell you how many there are, because last time we did that, we sold out in like 4 minutes. We had 60 people sign up in 4 minutes. It was
Max,
insanity.
You got to stop doing this. We got too many people in the Discord as it is.
Well, I'm going to close off the Discord in the near future, and I've been telling everybody that. So this might be, I mean, for real, one of the last chances. But I woke up feeling loving, man. It's Valentine's Day. This is my way of giving you guys flowers, all right? But if you haven't yet, please like the stream, guys. We got almost 170 people watching between YouTube and Twitter. Thank you guys so much for the overwhelming support. It's truly heartwarming. Please like the stream. Once we get to 100 likes on YouTube, we're going to randomly drop the discount code. So if you've been wanting to try the Discord, and also be first in line to use BB Terminal, which is dropping right around the halving, get in while you can. Again, you're going to get grandfathered in to your current price, and also you're going to save a bunch of money using this discount code. So you might as well try it. But yeah, guys, please like. And if you're on Twitter, you're not safe, guys. On Twitter, I expect a lot of you guys on X because it's really easy for you guys. You're already logged in. Hit that like button, and I would love a retweet. Help push this content to more people, guys. Help us grow. That's all we ask. We're happy to show up Monday through Friday and do an hour-and-a-half stream for free, sharing this premier alpha with you guys, helping you guys out. And all we ask in return is that for that hour-and-a-half alpha dump, you help push the content. Do your part. Like the stream. If you're on Twitter, please retweet. Really, really helps us out. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. But Will, you were going to say something about this chart, brother. I can't hear you, Will. I think you're on mute.
I was saying, my bad on that. I have a lot of propaganda this morning. I do not have a lot of time, but I would say this chart is very similar to like my setup. My setup's a little bit different. People are absolutely sleeping on Sui. I think once Sui gets above all-time high, it's going to actually chad through that all-time high, like massively. Man, there's so much opportunity right now. Like even SPY, guys, like SPY. I remember people like, oh, it's coming down, but it's already recovering. It's already recovering. Like I don't know, like everything. If you're bearish here, I'll put it this way: if you're bearish here, I would say you don't really need to see we'll say a psychiatrist or psychologist. Sorry, you might need to see a psychiatrist. They prescribe medicine to help you with your anxiety that you're probably going to feel here in a couple months. Once you see prices much higher than the current appreciation value. It's absolutely insane that people could call a top here. In my eyes, right? Like absolute insanity that you can call tops and tell me that the market is topped and this is where you roll over. So I do have a chart though. I'd like to kind of show kind of similar to yours. Mine has a little bit different of a time span, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong on that.
Will's outlook being wrong. Come on now. Stop playing around, Will.
It can happen. It can happen.
Come on now, Will. Enough of this. It's time to be serious, okay?
I don't know. Do any of the other guys have anything to weigh on? I don't want to just swap your chart without.
Tucker's locked into something.
Hang on. So about the RSI, what's it at right now?
RSI is at 68.5 right now on the monthly.
What is there a way to figure out what price it would take to get it over 70?
I'm sure there is. I actually don't know the calculation.
Could it do it in a month?
I think it could do it by next monthly close. I think if we have a really strong monthly close, I bet we're going to get over it, because looking at where we've been previously, just kind of trending here. So from this most recent move, right? So like we dipped down to sub 40 here, and basically February 1st, or basically January 31st, we were at 62.5, and we gapped up on the RSI to 68.5 just from January to February. So I feel like we're going to hit it within 2 weeks. Like it's not even going to be a problem.
Okay, now are there any bearish scenarios? Like I'm on board with this, don't get me wrong, but like it's good to think.
I will say we have added 4 billion in open interest over the last like week and a half, which
yeah,
is,
I mean
the OI 5 to 30% of the total global open interest of Bitcoin. So we've added a shit ton of leverage.
Jesus.
Tommy, did you read my tweet when I posted that on the swing long? So basically what I said is the swing long's coming. We're going to go a lot higher than most anticipated. I even said 51.52. I was like, and then after they OI wash all the shorts, I was like, all the longs are getting washed next. You guys that think you're going to sit in your longs all cush, That doesn't mean look, and I'm bullish. I'm very, very, very bullish. I've probably thrown the most ridiculous propaganda you've ever seen in your life on the show. But at the end of the day, I'm not stupid either, right? I know how these things play. So I know once those shorts get wiped out, you got to wipe out the other side. That way you can clean the chart before you move forward. How deep that goes, that's the hard call. That's the hard call.
I mean, I could see something like this last cycle where we kind of had like this pump right in here and then just a huge OI flush before the bull market. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see that right around here. Something
I like that spot you have drawn right there. That looks perfect.
I mean,
so what is that? What is that, Max? That's like that would be back into like 45K.
Maybe
that's what we discussed.
You know, I mean, that would be pretty damn aggressive, right? So who knows? Maybe we go up to 55 and then go back to 46. I don't know. But I mean, something like that would certainly clean up the board, you know, something like Tommy's probably looking for. Cool OI cleanse.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it's going to look like, right? I mean, it could go higher and then wipe from higher, but you know,
we're closer to a stopping point than we are to a moving point
for a Bitcoin. Yeah, I think so. But you're just going to see the bid shift to risk markets like ETH and probably other altcoins.
Hang on, Max. I don't want you to ruin your charts. I'm going to get granular for you.
And then once that liquidity moves from Bitcoin to alts, then you see Bitcoin start to fall back, and they catch that with the alt liquidity that they've created in the market.
Like, I think you're probably entering August.
That wouldn't surprise me.
You know what I mean?
But also, how do you prep for that, right? Like, what do you know, if you've got entries from lower, like, do you even try to maneuver?
No, you don't do anything.
Or you just kind of accept it.
You just do nothing.
You take it on the chin and you just.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, if you're wrong here and this thing continues up, you're screwed.
That's what it almost seems like a bigger risk to try and
catch it.
Sell into that, you know, than to hold through, you know. Like I honestly would be afraid that maybe that doesn't happen. And if it does, it's kind of like whatever, you know. I don't.
Max, I'm pretty much fully deployed. Like and I'm willing to eat this downside. Like I don't give I don't care. Right. Like you look at the upside and you look at the downside and you're like a move for ants.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. I just, you know, maybe if I see some really obvious signs of distribution at, you know, 52 to 55 and Tommy gives the bat signal, maybe I'd rip a small hedge or something, but I'm not going to touch my spot bags. Like I literally just refuse to touch them. But, you know, again, the risk is to the upside here, guys. Like it really is. Flip the chart, Tucker. We're literally capitulating. Like, what would you do if the chart looked like this?
I would think it's bottom.
We're literally capitulating right now.
You would think
right here. No, right here. I would think it's bottomed. It's going to bounce, come back, retest the support, and then roll.
I don't know if I'm seeing signs of a bottom yet.
No. I'm talking about where we're sitting at right now. Like if you were to draw, so
you would buy this chart right here. You would buy this.
No, I think it's going to bounce and then roll.
Oh, you think just
look
like
at this? Look at this. You're literally nuking,
dude. This is a free fall.
If you draw a line to your left here.
Yeah, I know. I see.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. Will, you will agree with this, bro. People are so desperate for entries right now, man. Like they all thought they were going to get like 35. They didn't get it. You know?
Oh, dude, everybody was bidding 35, bro. And I said that too. I was like, everybody's in the 35K camp. I'm telling you. I'm like, they want this to happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, man, it's craziness. Like you said this too, Will. Like you will not get your entry. You know, you won't get your entry. Okay. You will take what the market gives you. And it gave you a 22% drop from 49 to 38. And now inverse, it's capitulating, you know? That's what's happening.
That's what I mean right there. So if you were looking at this as like a OI or an actual flush, let's say this was a flushing market. That's how you would expect that to play. You'd expect it to come down 5 to 10% from the low, come back up, retest resistance, make people think it's going to break out, and then roll out, right? And just drop more. And so flipping this chart, you're expecting it to pull back, use that as support, make everybody think it's going to go deeper, and then rip off of it. Like that's your final scare. That's your final scare. But you're so far into this is like the fourth inning, and people are sitting there like hold, don't buy. I mean, people are still waiting for some big scare. The big scares have already happened. They're all done. There's no more big scares, guys. Like you've lost your opportunity. 25K was your big scare. It touched it twice. It literally touched it twice.
I mean, dude, if we think like fundamentally about this, right? There's been a lot of talk about the Bitcoin spot ETF inflows. I think in that discussion, you also have to consider MicroStrategy to be a spot ETF. Okay. Right now, and I made this point yesterday, so actually let me expand on it a little bit first. That the whole meme of like there's only 21 million actually isn't going to be a meme anymore. Like that's real. That's happening right now. And I'm going to explain it. So it's actually less than 21 million because there's projected like 5 to 7 million Bitcoin that are just gone forever, lost in the ethos. They were thrown away on a hard drive 10 years ago when it was worth nothing, and they're gone. 5 to 7 million Bitcoin. There might only be, let's say, 15 million Bitcoin that can actually potentially be moved or sold. Okay. So if you think about it like that, there's only 15 million potentially. In the first 3 weeks of these spot ETFs being approved, and I'm going to include MicroStrategy in them. MicroStrategy owns like 200,000 Bitcoin roughly. All right, just shy. The spot ETFs, well over 200,000. I think it's like 250,000 Bitcoin already since they've launched. Okay, you're talking about between 450 and 500,000 Bitcoin now being basically taken off of the market between these spot ETFs. So 400 to 500,000 divided by, 15 million Bitcoin. I mean, what happens when everybody wakes up and they go, oh crap, I need some of this. I'm going to buy some of this ETF. You're talking about these spot ETFs within 3 weeks of launch, owning let's just say 3 to 5% of all of the Bitcoin in circulation, less than a month into launch. That is insanity, guys. And the inflows to these ETFs, they're not stopping. They're continuing every single day. You think that they're looking at these? You think that they're going, do you think they even know enough, these TradFi guys? They've studied like as granularly as we do. And they're going, oh, well, I want to hit the one day FVG and I'm going to wait for Binance Alida Flush. Fuck no. They're literally just buying because like all their buddies are buying and there's a new ETF. They're not thinking like this. Maybe some are, but most aren't. These guys control trillions of dollars. And you're worried about a 1 hour FVG. The data is there.
I know you're cooking, but look at ETH.
I don't even need to look at ETH,
that thing
man.
is cooking. It is cooking.
Yeah, ETH's cooking, man.
I do want to pull up a couple charts of okay, Tucker.
Yeah, take it.
Rather than pull a Tommy,
man. You can't
Yeah.
just. Oh, guys, we're
Tommy, you don't ask.
We're 3 likes away from the discount code. 3 likes away, and then I'm gonna just drop it on you. Drop it on you.
Let's do this. Also, we could probably talk about the play that we gave in the Discord. A little bit of MOG. People saw the glasses come on, but didn't understand why. They're like, why is this guy wearing some weird glasses on his PFP? I warned you. I just didn't tell you. The Discord knew. But I publicly said it once I changed my PFP, and everybody didn't pay attention. So MOG absolutely killing it. It's still killing it. But this is the high range right here, right? This is exactly where we are at. Look, Bitcoin 2AT has stopped here. It's stalled here. Now, does it mean that it's going to stay stalled here? That's the question, right? If you get above this line, you're going a lot higher, right? That's 51,791. You start breaking above here, get a close in 4 days and 8 hours on your weekly, you're probably going to go for all-time high, right? Arguably, I'd say shoot for this side first and then shoot for this side second. You'll probably see some resistances on the way up. But at that point, it's like, okay, do we really come back now? Right? That's where you got to question, do we really come back? Because if we get up here, what I would think, because I always like to have validations and invalidations, I'd be invalidated on the pullback here. And then at that point, I would think we're going to probably pull back like into here, run up, and then we'll get a big pullback up here, scare, and then a move. And that's something, if you're not exposed, you're screwed. You are absolutely screwed at that point. Because once you start getting into price speculation, you don't know where that's going to go. So now your appreciation area, the area where you could have potentially not had to worry about coming back to, even in a bear run, is gone. Because at the end of the bull run, there's good potential. You'll come back and revisit the highs because Bitcoin does it again and again and again every single time. And I brought out the dog and I showed you guys the direction of the market. I showed you here, I showed you here, and I showed you here. And everybody's like, oh no, well, you want to wait for them 5K, more than 5K better price Bitcoin. Yeah. You got better price Bitcoin right now, a lot higher. Another play too. I threw this on Twitter as a freebie. Right? I threw you an RR on there. I gave you an entry. I gave you an invalidation, and I gave you a price appreciation. It's a 13.58 RR. It's a pretty good RR, guys. It's a pretty good RR.
Freebie,
right?
I think Tommy's long AVAX too, right?
Yeah, I am. I like AVAX here. Thesis being that I'm bullish Sol, so I feel like I have to be bullish AVAX.
Bro, 100%.
Should I bridge everything to AVAX right now?
Yes.
The funny part is you have the AVAX play, right?
This is a trading show, not a special.
And you have the Sol play, very similar setups. Very similar setups. Look, Sol and AVAX, almost identical setups. Look at that round. Sol is just leading the charge. AVAX is lagging the charge. But when AVAX runs, I mean, you got nothing but air up to like $100 and some dollars. Like you could take the long on this and sleep. You could sleep at night, right? Sol.
You could
Speaking of sleeping at night. Speaking of sleeping at night, Will, before I go back to you, guys, there's something on the bottom of the screen. It's called Valentine 50. If you want to use a discount code for your first month to get into our Discord, it is a very, very good opportunity. We're feeling loving. We're feeling generous. We only do these things randomly when we wake up and we feel generous. And it's Valentine's Day, and we love you guys. We love our community. If you want to try it out, 50% off of your first month. So very, very low risk.
Oh, Mario said
code below. It's a very, very limited time offer. It's only good for today. And I'm not even going to tell you how many redemptions are allowed on it. So again, if you've been wanting to try our Discord, try out that code Valentine 50. All right. You guys are all our Valentine. If you want to pay in crypto, send me a DM on Twitter. We just have to do it the right way. And my accountant would kill me if we did it too often. So I just have to I have to make an invoice for it and a whole thing. But if you want to do that, DM me on Twitter. But if you want 50% off your first month, try out the code Valentine50. Again, the link is in the description below. And guys, we are increasing our prices dramatically as soon as BB Terminal comes out, which is going to be right around the Bitcoin halving. All right. So if you want to get in now and grandfather yourself in at the current prices and also get 50% off your first month as you try it out. So very low risk. Use this very limited time coupon code Valentine50 for 50% off your first month. Again, I'm not going to tell you how many redemptions there are. When it's gone, it's gone. But yeah, try it out, guys. Valentine50. And here's the thing, guys. I told Jackus about this code. All right. Jackus is recovering from surgery, but he is active, but he has to do a lot of resting. When he wakes up and he sees this code, he's going to tweet it out. Okay. He's going to wake up any minute. When he tweets out this code, it's going to be gone in 34 seconds. All right. So do what you will with that information. I'll keep the code on the bottom of the screen. The first link in the description below. Again, 50% off your first month. So very, very low risk for you to try it out. We share active positions. We do 2 hours a day of private live voice calls with the entire team and community. And you get 50% off on Valentine's Day because we love you. And again, you will be grandfathering yourself in to a product that you are going to love and desire and want to continue to use. And prices are going to go up dramatically as soon as BB Terminal drops. Anyways, Will, you wanted to cook, man. I'm going to leave that code up, but we're going to go back to you for a little bit here. Suey,
I just
all right.
I just had a few more charts. So, Link, we talked about this. You got nothing but air all the way up to like 25, 26. You're going to run this. You are going to run this. And I think arguably if you can break into this range, you can probably consolidate here. It looked like Tommy wanted to say something. Go and hop in there, Tommy, if you want. You good?
What?
Okay, Tommy's been. I thought you wanted to say something.
Oh, no, he's just locked in right now, man.
He's getting
Look
positions.
at his eyes.
He is locked in. Yeah.
I was
He
like,
is in kill mode.
You can tell when Tommy's doing something because he always like looking at his screen, looking like he's getting ready to eat a meal.
Oh, I hate the accuracy.
All right. So one thing too, Tesla, I talked about this. I told you guys, I was like, you probably swing fail here. It's exactly what happened. You're probably going to hit roughly around 200 is my thought, or 166. Once you hit the support, I think you're going to roll out something like this. So kind of like a round out of here. But you do have that bearish top still playing out for Tesla. Disney, pretty interesting. They had the Epic Games rally, right? 1.5 billion in the metaverse. That's what all this rally right here is from. Questionable thing here is like, does it roll over? We're not really in a bear market, so I don't want to assume it rolls over, but that's kind of the hard part to tell. But this is a pretty solid ceiling. But you get above the ceiling, you got a lot of room there, a lot of room on Disney. Sui, like I think that looking at Sui again, this is one of those scenarios we were talking about earlier. I'm running through these pretty quickly. Which is basically with same thing with Bitcoin. You got the curve, right? And then you get the run up and you're getting the curve again. And I think you're going to get a pretty big blast off here for Sui. So it's looking really juicy. It's looking really juicy. You break this high right here. I think arguably you're going to get another one of these type of moves. So you got to watch for that. That's a pretty big pump if that ends up happening. Ethereum, nothing but air here, guys. Like, look, no resistance. This thing's going straight up. It's going to be at $3,500 at some point, probably a month or two, yada, 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 maybe a couple of weeks. But there's nothing resisting ETH from going higher. And this is what I said when we were over here. I was like, now that ETH has poked through the entire bear bottom, you're going to see ETH probably break through at some point. It ended up rolling back, finding support in the previous consolidation range, then breaking out against that. And now I think we're in that range. We're going to probably get closes up here 4 days, 8 hours. I guarantee we're probably going to get closes up here with a 99.98% accuracy because I can't ever guarantee. But that we're going to close up here and we're probably going to continue up. We might roll back before we end up continuing up. We'll see if they want to really shake people out. But I think this is going to be a straight up move. There's really no resistance for it to even really hit to kind of roll back. But there's always that possibility. And BLX to kind of support what you're saying, Max, and I want to point this out too, because on the higher time frame, again, the decade, 2 decade, 3 decade type charts, aka monthly. If you look here on the monthly is very telling, right? So you got your bull, your bear, and then your consolidation. Your bull, your bear, your consolidation, bull, bear, consolidation, yada yada. Arguably, we're still in that consolidation, but I could be wrong. This could end up being the parabolic phase. The reason I said this is more consolidation is because the way the market is moving, right? So if you look here on the high time frame, you were moving this way round top, and now you're starting to kind of like move like this, but you could end up kind of moving like this and then shoot, right? And that's kind of like a build up, but it's very similar to this first one. So you got this first leg, and then you're getting kind of the second. This is where you're kind of trying to break out of all this resistance, and that's why it's kind of curving. And then as you curve, and then you hit the high and you just break out. Now, arguably, we're a lot higher than BLX right now. So this curve could be a lot higher right now and getting ready to break out at some point a lot earlier than what a lot of people are anticipating. But the part with the RSI that I want to talk about, where Max was kind of speaking on, is if you look here, you basically have this downtrend in strength on Bitcoin, which is okay. It's okay. It's just Bitcoin resetting, probably for a bigger move decades from now. But the point that's most important here is basically all this room you have here, right? Because if we're expecting Bitcoin to hit trend like it has every other market, you have a ton of room for upside on the BLX. Just a ridiculous amount of room for upside. And based off of previous cycles, this is looking juicy. Like, we haven't even crossed the 70 yet on Bitcoin on the monthly. Like, we have a ton of room for upside. So yeah, I mean, arguably, Max, I think you're right on the fact that once we cross the 70, we'll probably be, that is your bull run phase. But I think we still have a little bit of time before that happens. But you know, this is your Aaron opportunity if you're looking to take positions. Otherwise, you're going to be buying the top of the market.
Yep, it's pretty clear. Honestly, it's pretty clear. Tommy, we had some requests for a little bit of OI talk today, man. Are you in the
we
mood?
need it. We need it, Tommy.
Yeah, I've been looking at some open interest stuff while you guys were doing some speaking. That's kind of why I was like concentrating so hard. But
Getting ready. All right.
Let's do it. All right.
Tommy's about to cook, guys. Strap in.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin open interest. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, guys. All right. Let me close that ad first. But the first thing I noticed, man, on a higher time frame was, one, we've added almost 4 billion in open interest within less than 2 weeks, which is a huge amount. But it's also the first time that we've kind of broken out above, these levels of open interest since, it's the same contextual levels for price, right? The consolidation that we had basically when it was over and when we got the last pump on Luna. And
on here?
Say it again.
Who did that?
I didn't do that.
Did what?
No, nothing. It was just like my face just like blew up on the screen. It was like only on me. Like, thanks, guys.
So this is probably like this inefficiency right here on open interest. I mean, you can see the way that we reacted into it with this one. This is probably a pretty big level to pay attention, because if we just burst through this, then we probably are in some sort of like melt up phase, not just with price, but also with open interest. Otherwise, I think this is an interesting level to pay attention to, given how much we've put on so closely. Let's see if we have any, as far as lower time frame stuff goes. This isn't even that lower time frame, but one of the things that I always say, and one of the things I've noticed, is these gaps that you see on open interest. They always say that gaps in price fill, but in open interest, they tend to do the same. And conveniently, look where the bottom was, right? Like, we filled this little gap of open interest. I just thought that was interesting when I was observing today. Let's take a look at spot CVD. Spot CVD has been basically up only the entire rally. That's not a surprise. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of gamma squeeze going on. We look at the Deribit open interest. Yeah. So we put on 200 or 300 million of Deribit open interest throughout this rally, and a lot of that was squeezing market makers and forcing them to buy spot. Little alpha for you guys there. Talk about some altcoins. Actually, I haven't even looked at ETH. Let's look at ETH. Is there any spot CVD? Yeah, I guess there has been. Ooh, interesting. Well, people finally starting to buy a little bit of ETH. But this kind of reminds me of the signature that Bitcoin had a few months ago with the spot CVD, where it was still technically in a downtrend, and I want to say the equivalent for where Bitcoin's at right now is probably up here. So I think there's still a lot of room for ETH to run. There's really not that much open interest that's been added on this rally, but maybe we get something to take out these easy longs right in here. Like dip down into here and go. I could see something like that on ETH. Otherwise, looking at some altcoins, I mean, I was kind of looking at Sol inefficiencies. I say gaps like to fill, and I think Sol has a decent one on the 4 hour that you could see price revisit here before it gig ascends. Just I think if you get it, it's probably like a shove entry for me personally. Like if we get a sweep of these lows right here, I think you get a big reaction. I mean, this is just coiling up. Like this is just coiling, man.
Tommy, you had said maybe a month ago it wouldn't surprise you to see Sol press all-time highs by this summer. Is that still an expectation of yours?
I still think it's possible, yes. I want to see how the next 2 weeks go for it, because I'm kind of thinking it either will get some sort of like, let's see, I kind of think it'll do either this and like blow off into here and then just kind of reconsolidate in base, or I think it's going to do something like this and here, maybe BART back into here and then send up here for something like that.
Okay.
That's kind of how I'm viewing Sol, but the extended accumulation scenario, I think probably lends more favorably to summer or maybe even fall breakout on Sol. Sol summer. Are they finally going to get the patented Sol summer? We'll see, but I don't know. Let's see any other alts worth looking at before we. I don't know what the hell this is. The latest cartel coin. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my.
That's fun.
Wouldn't it be fun to get in before the cartel does that?
I've always thought about that.
I tried to get you guys in before the cartel moved on Mog, but
No, that's different. That was on chain.
that's
This is like a
not
straight
This is
perp-driven
cartel, man.
Yeah,
That Mog is not a cartel coin.
that's the
Not
money
even
laundering pattern right there.
This is a carbon copy of every cartel playbook. You have all the supply already. You start buying up even more spot to corner the market, and then your residual hedges that you had left over from back here, you start to close the shorts as well. So now everybody who had like shorts or hedges open from here are now underwater, and they're going to contribute to the pump. I mean, it's pretty much exactly what DWF and the cartel do on all of these scam pumps, man. It's pretty brilliant. Apparently what they do though, it's not like they're trapping hedge funds. They're trapping like algorithms and operating systems that are trying to probably use these alts for beta hedges or whatever else they're using them for. But they're the counterparties of DWF, which means there's a target on your back. But this is beautiful, I gotta say. Beautiful painting. But I mean, that's pretty much it from like an open interest standpoint, guys. I don't have anything too much more to add. I think it looks favorable for probably continued upside here over the next few months, but I'd definitely be a little bit wary of how much open interest we've added over the last 2 weeks on Bitcoin more so than altcoins. I don't think we've really added a terrible amount on altcoins.
people are stepping away from the altcoin ultra degeneracy, which is basically leverage, but they're definitely on board with Bitcoin leverage.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, levered apes will probably have to pay for their sins eventually on Bitcoin, but who knows what that looks like. I mean, look, they've had if you've been long from 43K, you barely had to suffer any pullback up until all the way 52K. That's one hell of a move.
From 43.
Yeah, we pumped from 43.
Oh man, I'm really zoomed in. Hang on.
It's been up only since. But
do we need to pull up the Agger, Tucker?
We might. Could be fun.
Whatever. That's so funny.
But those positions, though, like I said, Tommy, at some point they're gonna end up costing them so much to keep them open. Like it's gonna be ridiculous.
Well, the thing is that the funding hasn't really, like, there's a lot of built up longs in the system, but funding hasn't really, and I'm going to check it right now because I haven't checked it in a minute, but funding really hadn't been that overheated just because spot had been pushing. Okay, it's starting to get a little bit overheated now that I'm looking at it, but okay,
that's why I brought it up.
Decent. Yeah. I mean, if spot stops bidding, then whoosh. But then it probably just gets sucked right back up, right? I mean, that's how the bull market flushes work.
Could you go into the context of like what, I guess like dumb it down like we're five, so that way the audience can understand like why we consider leverage overheated because of spot fallback, and just explain like how spot works against leverage.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, I mean, every exchange is going to have two pricings of an asset. They're going to have the perpetual futures contract price, and they're also going to have the spot contract price. And the difference between those two is reflected in the funding that you have to pay in order to keep your perpetual futures position open. For example, if you see funding more positive on something like Bybit or Binance, it usually reflects that people are taking more futures longs, more leverage rather than buying spot. And that's being reflected in the price. But funding is also something that you have to pay on a gradual basis. So with futures, you usually have to pay on an 8-hour basis. And so it'll slowly eat away at your position, your margin at least, the more leverage you are. And of course, the the longer you sit there. So spot has really been the driver of this rally because I mean, I'm pretty positive we had some sort of gamma squeeze on Deribit options market makers that forced them. I guess they were overly short at 43K. They were forced to cover by buying more and more spot. And that spot bid has really brought up the market, right? But if that spot bid ceases, that funding is going to become under that much more scrutiny. For one, it's probably going to become more overheated, but it's also going to force people who are long to pay more and more to keep their longs open until eventually, maybe they puke and that spot bid is not there. And you see what you often see in these bull market flushes, man. You see a deep wick that wicks way deeper than you think on Bitcoin and alts. And then by the end of the day, it'll be almost right back to where you were. So
Tommy, I have a question for you about like overall open interest or coin margin open interest. Do you think that, I guess with Bitcoin sort of on the verge of, dare I say, global adoption or becoming more of like a legacy asset and a brand new one, it's possible that, previous models of what is possible for open interest kind of needs to be adjusted. Like last cycle's peak OI will be basically just swallowed up by what we see this cycle. Is that an expectation of yours at all?
Absolutely. I think we're going to run multiples on the previous cycle's all-time high in open interest, like 100%. It's also why I think that it's going to take a while to build to that point. I have no idea what the final amount's going to end up being. Last cycle, we kind of topped out, I think, around 17 or 18 billion in total open interest on Bitcoin. And it's ironic because what you see is at the parabolic top, you see like 50% of the total open interest come in essentially of like global OI, and price moves maybe like 20% higher. That's usually a pretty good indicator that the trend is exhausted when you just have these outsized amounts of open interest come in that don't move price the way that it probably should if it was indicative of the strength of the trend.
Yeah. So essentially, Tommy, what you're saying is if we're at 48K, right, and everybody's long, but the spot interest is closer to 45K, then at that point, all those long positions may not be enticing people to want to come in enough to the point that price may rebalance to the 45K and end up wiping out most of those longs.
Yes, that's exactly. And I Nomad actually had a fantastic quote about this that he might have deleted.
I'm
But
just explaining it to educate the audience too.
I remembered it. basically the concept is the higher that price goes without pullback, the lower eventual bid support will be. That's how it goes. So
this is,
as you price out more and more buyers as you go higher, and eventually that reflexivity translates to lower bid support.
but up only is so fun, Tommy.
Well, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, we can go higher. It just means bid support will be lower.
That's what I mean, man. I don't want that. Maybe a quick wick, right?
Well, no, that actually a wick would work. That's the point. A wick moving back to grab the liquidity, and if the liquidity grab is strong enough to shove it, which means everybody's bidding immediately as soon as it hits the trend, then it can swing it right back up, right? And that's where your wicks come in. That's why wicks are important. And I brought this up because I feel like people always try to go against the narrative of what Tommy tries to explain when he talks about a why, but I feel like they don't understand how it works, right? They don't understand the nuance why it works. And it's a number go up because of price interest. And if price interest isn't there, number go down. That's just think of it very simple like an ape, right? Banana, open, eat. Interest, go up. No interest, go down. It's really easy. And spot interest can change like that. That sentiment can change, and that's what happens in a bear market. Is that sentiment slowly changes, and you start to see more and more of where people are like, oh, it's going to go further, so I'll bid here, and that creates more spot interest, and it starts to build, and then your build starts to play out, and then your trend starts to play, and then your trend starts to play out, and this is how a structure is put together for a market. So when people say like charting doesn't work, 100% it does. Is it manipulation? Yes, it is. That's what price is. Price manipulation is what entices people. Price manipulation is what causes people to sell at the lows. That's how this game is played. It's all manipulation, but without the manipulation, there's no game to play. It's just what it is. The manipulation is part of the game. Like that's what people have to understand. And people may be like, well, if it's manipulated, I don't want. Okay, well then don't play. But
Feature not a
that's part
bug.
of the game.
Markets get a lot easier when you realize it's all just a manipulated Ponzi. Even the S&P 500, man, especially legacy,
especially the S&P.
especially the S&P. Markets get a lot easier. Life gets a lot easier when you stop getting mad about how it's manipulated and just accept it and just roll with the punches, you know?
The S&P and indexes in general are, the stock market's probably scammier than crypto. Let's be real.
For sure it is.
100%.
Dude, it's all if people think that there's too much hidden leverage in crypto, talk to me about the derivatives market in legacy. Are you kidding me?
No.
My gosh.
Max, talk to me about Nancy Pelosi's portfolio, then tell me about manipulation.
Here's the thing. People hate on Nancy, bro. She's literally my hero, man. She's the best trader on planet Earth. She has outperformed.
I'm just saying.
She's outperformed everybody for like 2 decades now. She's literally the best investor on the planet.
Nancy Pelosi is GCR.
Dude, she's better than GCR, bro. Nancy Pelosi is the best trader on the planet. She has to, and she publicly discloses all of her positions in real time. Find me your FinTwit guru that discloses their positions in real time and has outperformed the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and every major hedge fund for like 2 decades straight publicly. You know? That's a track record that you can't compete with. And by the way, she's not playing like, oh, I'm gonna just buy this stock, bro. She's swinging like 7 to 8 figure naked call options on tech.
Naked call.
Are you doing that? Are any of you doing that?
Nancy's not gonna YOLO into an Ethereum ETF.
Bro, she's the best investor of all time, man. You can't say anything bad about Nancy. She should be your damn hero.
I was talking to somebody and I was like, watching like 2 years, you're gonna start seeing Bitcoin ETFs in Nancy's portfolio. But there's an old saying. There's an old saying, right? And it's, you can't break the law if you make the law. And a lot of people they don't understand that whole concept. That's Congress. That's the U.S. government. You can't break the law if you make the law. Corruption at its finest.
Tommy, this is a question for you here, man. I want to see what you have to say here. Tommy, what do you think about the dollar going up the same time as Bitcoin? I mean, if the economy of the USA is getting better, people are willing to buy risk on assets like Bitcoin. Do you think it's possible we could see a DXY rally and a risk rally at the same time?
I don't think that it's possible to see those two things at the same time, but I will say I'm not bullish on the dollar. I am kind of fully expecting this to eventually end up rolling over and probably trading down into like 98 on the dollar. Let me see where it's trading right now. I haven't taken a look at it this week, but I had a plan for it to roll over probably pretty soon. So, maybe either it might roll over in March, but here's the thing. I will say that I don't think that markets from an equity side need the dollar to go up to go down, if that makes sense. But I'm not bullish on the dollar. I'm not sure where it fits into the equity market picture yet, or like risk market picture yet, but I'm not bullish on the dollar.
What about the VIX? Let's look at that.
The VIX is bottom, man. Volatility is bottom. Volatility is bottomed.
I don't know, man. Does volatility ever? Can the VIX go negative, Tommy?
No, only Ethereum can do that.
Hey, look, he's got the setup right there. He's got
no, this is what you wanted me to draw last time, Will. That's all that is.
I mean, dude, the VIX literally could go sub 10. Like that's a very real thing, if we're being completely honest. Like they could just bleed this thing down. But you're right, Tommy, about like one day there will be a vol blowout. Like it's gonna go from 10 to 40 in 2 sessions. That's the only way it can possibly unwind multiple years of suppression.
Well, part of me has this I'm just kind of thinking out loud to myself here over the last few days about like, what if the dollar depreciating ends up putting pressure on collateralization ratios and causing a problem in markets? Like I could see that causing issues if the dollar drops rapidly enough for that to happen. But volatility's bottomed. Like I don't know what I'll do, man, but like volatility's bottomed. I'm willing to, I'm not like bet on it, but after the whole Solana bet, and I'm paying for your stake here in like a week, 2 weeks. But
yeah.
I do think that volatility has found a bottom. I did expect this retracement though, from like we had a nice little pop on the VIX over the last 2 days, and the people who always come out of the woodwork when the VIX is up like 5% came out of the woodwork again, and they were like, "Oh, did you see that candle on the VIX?" And I mean, it's getting suppressed. So I'm not surprised by this, but I still think the VIX probably needs, before you're talking about any real move to the upside on the VIX, I think you're talking about at least a little bit more basic first.
You see that wick? That wick's all you're getting, Tommy. That's it. We're going deeper.
You see that rounded bottom, Dr. Outlook? That's all you're getting.
Dynite, though, he said he's interested in the soybean chart.
Oh dear.
No. Oh God.
Commodities.
Oh no.
Oh, don't tell me.
Oh, look at that beautiful bottom, man. That's
time to bid.
We need the 10-second.
Can you put on Haggard Super Sniper on the 10-second soybean chart?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Look at that signal, man. Oh.
Pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
Oh, look at that signal.
About the bottom. Come on now.
Can we go lower? Maybe 5 seconds? 1 second. There we go. Look at that, man. Look at that signal.
Jeez.
If you have ever, oh my gosh, the top.
We're so back.
All right, guys, we just lost like 20 watchers.
What? People don't appreciate soybean micro time frame analysis?
That's
shocking.
On them, man.
Dude,
they don't understand the alpha here.
The real bull run was in soybeans all along.
The real bull
run was in orange juice, man.
True.
The real bull run was in NVIDIA.
It's true. You guys missed my joke about ETH.
What did you say?
The negative prices.
No, I caught that.
Negative prices.
ETH can technically go negative.
I feel like you like fudding ETH more than anything else on this planet.
I love fudding ETH because I feel like everybody can relate to like that one trading loss they had trading ETH that was just so immensely frustrating. And I hate ETH, but I will I like the setup here on ETH too. I'm almost fudding it ironically today.
Tommy, what about this setup, man?
I like footing it because it triggers people on Twitter.
Hang on now. We had somebody say the code doesn't work. The code should work.
No, it's
people have
used
been
up.
using it.
It's used up.
No, there's still a few left actually, but Jackus just woke up. He just messaged me on Discord, so he's about to tweet it out. So it might be used up in like a second here. But it definitely works. Here, make sure copy paste this. It should work. There's a couple left. Valentine 50. Use that if you want to try it. It should definitely work. Make sure you're spelling it correctly. Valentine 50. Yeah, no, I've seen people using it. Like there's a bunch of people that just used it, and I can see how many have redeemed it.
Did you guys just see the super sniper just pin the top, man? Are you serious?
It doesn't work. I tried 3 times. I don't.
Oh my goodness.
Bounce for a complacency shoulder here.
Yeah, probably.
It definitely works.
Look at that thing, man. Are you kidding me? Who coded that? Some coding lord.
You know what? If I started trading soybeans on the 1 second chart, it would remind me of during COVID on my lunch break when there were no sports that you could bet on at all, and I was like finally in a state where I could bet on sports, and I couldn't even do it. But we used our lunch break in the parking lot betting on Russian table tennis, and that's what like
Russian table tennis
feels like. That. Yeah, I mean, we made money doing it because live odds for table tennis swing so much that you can get really good odds and then hedge within like 3 or 4 points.
Dude, that's sneaky alpha.
Yeah.
So Tucker, with the strategy here, do you just keep this rolling until it prints a green one?
Yeah. This guy said paid indicator. No, my friend. I created this indicator and it smacks.
But he does give it to people in the Discord.
I do give it out for free. If anyone's in our Discord, you get it for free as a small token of our appreciation.
Yeah.
So,
all right, guys. I guess one thing maybe we could talk. Please help, Max. I want inside of your group. It definitely works. Like I can confirm that the code is working. I would just say, please confirm that. Yeah, it's still working. Please confirm that you are spelling it correctly. Also, maybe here's how it should look when you. Here, let me show you what it will look like. All right, let me show you guys. Oh, we lost somebody.
Who'd we lose?
I think we lost Will.
We lost Will.
Okay. Here's how it will work. All right, let me show you. Stop sharing, present. Hang on, I'll show you guys how it works here. It definitely works. All right, here's how it works, guys. So you're going to click on, you're going to go through our page, you're going to click on this. We'll just type in like hello world. It's just I just use a random email because I don't even know. Someone's going to get signed up. Password, we'll just type in a bunch of random stuff. Subscription, you pick your subscription. You're going to do sign up. It's going to load. See if it's going to load. It should load. All right. And now add promotion. So we're going to type it in right here. All right. Valentine 50. All right. And then you click apply and it will take off $75 for you. So I can confirm it works. Like it still registers, you know?
Yeah. That's the evidence.
That's the evidence. I got it right here. I don't know. If that doesn't work, I don't know what else I can do. You could DM me on Twitter and I could connect you with our dev. Devs can usually do something. Ed's really good.
Max, I mean, does Bitcoin need to be shilled? Like what?
No, I feel like we're past that point. You should
Brother,
definitely.
Larry Fink is buying Bitcoin.
Okay, do you guys, this is actually, I literally don't even use this thing that much, but like, all right, so this is what you would have done. Bang the short, close the short, hit the long. That's how I would have played that.
Holy crap.
Wow, man.
The sniper.
Yeah.
There's
Also, Doge is waking up, boys.
Doge is waking up. Should we take it off the soybeans for him? Oh, we're on the 1 second.
I like how long we just had it up for.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of forgot we had the soybean chart up for that long. Doge is starting to wake up here, gentlemen.
Someday.
And we knew as soon as Bitcoin starts pushing towards all-time high, pressuring it, the dog would wake up. I still think that Doge is probably the easiest 10x in crypto. I really do. I think it's the safest, easiest 10x in crypto. I know that sounds crazy, but I really believe that. I really, really believe that. And actually, let me just Tommy the chart, and I will.
Come on.
I'll show you guys my Doge analysis, and it's gonna play.
Do it.
Your Doginals.
Well, that's a whole other. I've got a video on our YouTube, guys. And by the way, I'm dropping a new segment. I did a recording this morning. It's called 10 Minutes Max, where I drop alpha pre-recorded videos in 10 minutes max every single day. So you can look out for those if you subscribe to our YouTube. First one is going to be up right after this video or after this stream. I already did it this morning. It's just being edited. But here's the Doge chart, guys. Let's look at what happens when Bitcoin makes a new all-time high. All right. All-time high. Doge goes crazy. All right. Bitcoin's on the bottom here. Bitcoin all-time high. Doge goes crazy. Look at where we're at right now, guys. Look at where we're at right now. Do you really want to fade the most left curve, obvious, safe 10x in crypto? I don't. Also, from high to new global top, 1,216 days. Cycle 2, from high to global top, 1,216 days. From previous high, 1,217 days would take us to a new global top in September of 2024. That's it, guys. We're calling the stream here. I'm done with today. Guys, thank you so much for being here as always. If you haven't yet, please consider liking the stream either on X or on YouTube. And also, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us grow. We're growing so quickly because of your guys' continued support of what we are building here because Bitcoin. So please like and subscribe now. We already mentioned this during the stream, but if you haven't yet, this code is only good for today. We woke up feeling generous, and we love you guys. You are all our Valentines. Check out the first link in the description below. It will take you to our website, becausebitcoin.com/premium, where you can browse reviews and browse our premium services, which right now is just a Discord. But within the next 2 months, we are launching our new flagship product called the BB Terminal, which is absolutely epic. You're going to want to use it, and that will be bundled together with the Discord. Prices are going to go up dramatically when the BB terminal comes out. So you're going to want to get in before and grandfather yourself in. Use code only good for today, Valentine50 for 50% off of your first month. What are we talking about here, guys? What are we talking about here? Extremely low risk. You can see what all the craze is about. You can see why our retention is so high. You can see why we're growing so quickly. You can see what it's all about. We share active positions. Me, Snorlax, Tucker, Tommy, or Snorlax is the same as Tommy. Snorlax, Tucker, Tommy, Will's Outlook, Jack is Wabi, the entire Because Bitcoin team. We share active positions and premium analysis that we don't talk about here on YouTube or on Twitter. So get in while it's still affordable, while it's still digestible. And again, very low risk. You are all our Valentines. So use that code Valentine50 for 50% off your first month. Again, very limited number and only good for today. We've already had a lot of people using it. So I'd say get it before Jackus tweets it out because he is just waking up right now. He messaged me and I think he's going to tweet it out. So it might be gone pretty soon. But yeah, guys, I'm going to kick it over to Tommy to say a final farewell.
All right, guys. that's it. Happy Valentine's Day. Make sure to spend some time with your significant other and not be looking at charts. I actually do mean it this time. This is like the one day where you probably should not be spending too much time at the charts instead of the your significant other. But either way, guys, really exciting things going on in the markets right now. Bitcoin above 50K, altcoins looking ready to absolutely gigascend. Stock market is green as well on the back of a multi-month rally. So yeah, a lot of exciting things to talk about, a lot of exciting things to look forward to. But speaking of things to look forward to, you guys have Market Check every single day to look forward to at 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's the typical start time. You guys get to hear from me, Tucker, Max, Jackus, and Dr. Will's Outlook. We talk about trading. We talk about charts. It's very oriented around those things. And then, of course, we have Market Talk with King Wabi. That's our flagship show. It's a Twitter Spaces around 4:30 Eastern, 4:15 to 4:30 Eastern time, depending on when we wrap up our afternoon call with our Giga Chads. And that show is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. They talk all things markets, charts, trading, but also they have amazing guests on. Talk equities, crypto, everything in between. I mean, it's pretty much an all comprehensive show. So look forward to all of that. Look forward to us being back tomorrow for another episode. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. And thanks again for tuning in.